Slamdown is sponsored by BODYSLAM and Jam, and WWE Smack Talks, and Impact Fan Nation. Welcome to another episode of Slamdown Livestream. Today we're going to be talking about everything Impact Wrestling. Today we will have my co-host Charles. How you doing, bud?
Hey, everybody. Hey, how you doing, Ashley? It's good to be here with you. Get everybody that is viewing, and we'll be viewing throughout this broadcast. We appreciate you. Continue to tune in with us for everything Impact Wrestling on Sundays at 2 Eastern.
I've just got to admit, the improvements on Impact have been, sorry to use AJ Styles terminology, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
It's been good, no doubt. We've definitely seen progress week after week. I think the thing I like most about the progress is the booking. The booking has been good because they've had some really stellar matches. You know, they put the right people against each other. The only one I would say maybe that was kind of shaky was ODB versus Sienna for the GFW Championship, being that I only say that because ODB hasn't won anything since coming back to Impact Wrestling. She's just lost every single match, so it's kind of weird to put her in the championship match. But I get it. You got to have a fighting champion. You got to have somebody defended. And there's not always number one contenders matches and stuff like that. Sometimes people just get thrown out there for, a champion to devour. That's just been the nature of wrestling forever. But I think that, if any kind of hiccup when it comes to the booking, that was about it. Ava's story, she'll get better. So I can't want to call that because anyway. But yeah, it's definitely been lots of improvement. The product has been really good TV. The wrestling matches, I think, has been the biggest thing to talk about because they've all been good, from X Division to tag team to heavyweight. I think the tag team has probably made the biggest leaps when it comes to action, roster talent. I think the tag team division has definitely made the biggest step. The X Division really close behind. Definitely the in-ring action, definitely the characters. I think Loki is a good person to carry the flag of the X Division. I don't care what anyone says. A lot of people say stuff about old man, vet, and all that. That's fine, but like I spoke on last week, Loki is he's a vet that has the skills. He still has it, hasn't missed a step, and he can really teach and lead these young guys in the locker room now. I think he's perfect to lead the X Division for Impact Wrestling going forward. Until they can find that next person, that young man, up-and-coming person to take over. And they have people in the locker room for the X Division to do that. Matt Sydal, Desmond Xavier, Andrew Everett, and then the list goes on. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it. The progress is great. Storylines are far-fetched over the top. They're bringing some more action with the storylines that have been going on. The ones that they continue with being the Laurel Van Ness storyline They continue with that, and they're doing good by it. They added some people with it. They're going with the whole Laura Vanessa crazy thing, and they're even applying it to a wrestling style. And they're going full on with it, and it's being good. I'm surprised because I've never been one for wedding storylines and these the whole love triangle type thing.
Yeah.
But the things what they're doing with it, the things the faction that they brought together with Congo Kong, KM, Sienna, and all that, it's working. It works, and I like it. So, good job to Jeff Jarrett and Anthem and the creative team to take that storyline and continue to make it better, because it could have went really bad.
Yeah.
Because there are other storylines they nixed all together. Air Rex got just nixed. The whole Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett storyline got nixed. That's gone. There's a few storylines that just said the hell with it, left it alone, but they kept that one. Somebody thought they could do something with it, and they are.
Yeah, because I think in the X Division freeway, you could still see the rivalry between Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett. So I think they've might have thought, no, there is something here, and hopefully in time we should see a match between them two. But it's like you said, there is a lot more attention that's gone onto the product. One thing we did before Jeff Jarrett came in, and I want to say it's my pet hate, where they used old footage of the fans to make the Impact arena look bigger. It's one thing they did in Dixie when Dixie was there to try and make it look better than it was. With Jeff, the product is pure. What the people that are there is what the people are there. There's no editing trickery at all. And the way the whole product is done as well, visually, is a lot better. There's a lot of detail put into it. Look at the intro, for example. Normally an intro is just a song. But they've added a song, but they've also added sounds to when certain actions in the video happens as well.
Right.
Which I think is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. You get a sense of like they're trying harder. You get a sense of like they're taking the product more serious, and they want that portraying all that they do. Even in between with the video packages, the production company, what's his name? Kevin Sullivan, the head producer. These guys are producing really good video packages. I mean, like even the Spud Swaggle video package had me like, ooh, we'll just wait till Spud get back. He gonna do something Swaggle. You know what I mean? This is the type of stuff I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When like a lot of people wouldn't give a damn about Swallow and Spud, but these video packages that they're going for these rivalries, because they're coming with them 2 or 3 a night. They're good. They keep me on my toes. They got me smiling. Like they got me ready for these rivalries and these matches. Speaking about, I'm liking it. They're taking everything more serious and not just the wrestling, not just the talents and everything. They're taking the production, their advertisement. They're taking everything more serious, and you can see it. You can see it week after week.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, it's made the product better. To me, I really get a vibe of, I want to say, old Impact Wrestling with the way things are done. And I quite like it because it's given me that buzz back. It's, I'm excited to watch Impact, and everything they've done so far is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And there's still more to come. It's getting to the point now that even indie stars like Ricochet are commenting about Impact Wrestling.
I saw that. Yeah, he said that X Division is fire again. Yeah, he didn't lie. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth.
And especially if you've got someone like that commenting about Impact Wrestling, if he thinks that division's on fire, he's going to sit back and he's going to think, I need to be part of this, so there is a possibility.
That's exactly what I get from it too. It's like maybe he decided he'd be a part of it now that he see how good it's going, and that would be great, because when you get people like Matt Sydal that decide they want to join, and then you get people like these amazing talent like Des and Xavier that he's wrestled before in other organizations. It's gonna give you a kind of a thought, gonna pique your interest. Like, well, maybe I need to come over there and get in that because they're going at it. Anytime you see a division that you can compete in, and they're going at it good, they're having a hell of a go. that's prestige. If you can go over there and you can win and make your name known in those said divisions, that's prestige and a name that you're making for yourself. And who doesn't want that? Even if it's, I hate to say this, but even if it's just you're trying to do it to get noticed by WWE, even if that's just your goal, it's still a goal. It's still something that you want to do. I hate for people to just try to use Impact Wrestling as a stepping stone, but it's still good to see people wanting to come, whether they have ulterior motives or not.
Mm. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's now for me, the way he's building the product, he wants people that are not signed with Impact Wrestling to look at the product and possibly try and pull more people in. And, and I think, they don't need a load of ex-WWE stars to make a brilliant show, and that's what they're showing. They're going back to the roots of signing indie talent and people who've got potential. I'm looking forward to a lot of the guys on this roster because they're not at that full potential yet. And when they hit it, they're going to blow everybody away.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with that. Some of them have already gotten over real strong. You got some indie talents that may not even reach their potential, but they are big with the fans. LAX being one of them, probably the biggest one. They got over with the fans really, really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Angel Ortiz. Impact's don't love them. Impact fans love them. And I love this dirty, grunty type of gang attitude they have. They do it right. They got the heel thing going really nicely. And the fans still love it. They boo them, but then they cheer them because, they love LAX. It's kind of hard to just boo them because, they're so great at what they do. And their in-ring action is just ridiculous. So you got some of these indie guys that are coming in that are already just like catching fire. Reno Scone, they're good. They're a damn good team. I hate it because they were starting to kind of get a little momentum behind the fans, and then Barnstone gets injured, so that was kind of sucky. Now they don't have Buster the Legend on TV at all. I guess it's going to wait till Adam Dornstall gets well again because, you brought him in as a tag team. It's going to kind of hard to take a new guy that you brought in strictly as a tag team to just throw him in the heavyweight division. That's really crowded now. Best of wishes to you, Adam Thornstowe. Get well soon. We need you back in the Impact Zone because the tag team division is heating up. Y'all helped it heat up. We want to see you back in there because, you're championship material. And you're good for TV. You're good for wrestling. And I just hope to see you back soon. With that said, I'm liking everything, I'm ready for Slammiversary, but, we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. But I've got to admit, so far, this is probably one of my favourite of the Impact shows. Even kicking off the show with that World Tag Team Championship Tournament match with LAX taking on Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. Oh my God. They started the match on a high and they ended on a high. With this match, I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was absolutely amazing. And the ability that the tag team have, especially with Ortiz and the moves they pull off, it's just like, wow. Where are these guys been hiding?
For real, they behind the House of Glory and in the crash. This was an incredible match. To me, it was the match of the night. I mean, like your first match was like high intensity, high impact, and like you said, it started off with a match. The show started off with a great video package. Talking about pretty much everything going on with James Storm, EC3, Lashley, Patron, tag teams, everything. It was a good video package overall. I liked it. And then straight into a match. A really, really good match. Right? I posted on Facebook before the match started, like, this is people were thinking this could be a potential show stealer. Because I was like, just starting off, they're having a very good first round match, a spectacular potential first round match with LAX versus Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid, and it was exactly that. It delivered just that, I think it was the best match of the night. So to start off like that, definitely had my enthusiasm. I liked LAX's ability to fast tag and all the double team moves that they pulled off. They really showed a whole lot of tag team chemistry, and the experience definitely showed. It's like they wrestled like tag teams in the '90s, in the early '90s and mid '90s that stayed fresh. They made sure to stay fresh in and out the ring, keep the action going, distracting. I like I was saying, that kind of grungy heel gang mentality, because with Ortiz, like slapping the man on the ring rope, Diamante's Hurricanrana was great.
Wow,
the top rope. Yeah, that was great, amazing. Every time they get outside the ring, they got the chance. They did like gang attacks and stuff. It was cool. It was nice to see that, because that's what LAX is, and they continue to show that. But that they don't need it, because the in-ring action is just incredible. It's stellar anyway. Garza Jr., Laredo Kid, they continue to impress. They just have skills that Conan. He recruits. He's got some really good talent in Crash, and he's showing that. He knows how to pick out talent. He has a good eye for it. Always has. And these two always deliver. One day they should be tag team champions, whether it be GFW or Impact. They're just gonna have to go, to put in work, because there are other tag teams more popular. But except with the ladies, everybody they love Garza. But they're a caliber of team that they're gonna wow you whether they win or lose, and this was no different. I really like how they opened up this episode of Impact. It was really impressive. They need to continue to do it like this. You don't want a whole bunch of talking all the time. You don't want a whole bunch of storyline to begin the show, and they didn't do that to us. Every now and then, you can expect that, because you're going to get big storylines. You're going to get really, really big storylines sometimes, and you're going to get that. You can't expect week after week to have a wrestling match start off a wrestling show. That's unthinkable nowadays. There's just going to be that drama factor inside of it. And we all know that. You got people that complain when that kind of stuff happens, but we all know it's going to happen sometimes. So I try to be subjective and not objective, because I know that's just the state of wrestling as it is. Even in your indie shows, they still have some of this kind of stuff. So it was good that they started the match off. Like, let me start the show off this way. Gave us a 5-star match, if not 4.5.
Yeah.
It was a damn good match. They delivered. LAX won the title with the Street Sweeper, which is, I love this move.
Oh, what they said, I.
Yeah, I love this move. But right before that, when Santana did that flipping power driver off of the that road, oh, that was nasty. These two cats, Angel Ortiz, got some moves that I didn't think that they could perform, because I don't know, maybe they just got some moves. They have a move set that's just nice. They really do. And then the tag team move set is just nice. They really work so damn well together. It reminds me of the original LAX, Homicide and Hernandez. They, if not better than those two, because they had chemistry and they had tag team moves, and they work so damn well together. And this new rendition of the LAX tag team it's just the damn same.
The thing with the match is you couldn't take your eyes off it. If you took your eyes off the match, you'd have missed something.
Right, the whole time it was always something.
Oh yeah, there was never sort of a slow part to it. It was always, they had the slow build up, but it was action, 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 and it's. I completely agree with you. It was probably the top match of the show. And it's probably, I'm going to say this, it's probably the top match they've had from the new Impact, in my opinion. That's how much I rate the match.
This match was really good, man. I think the only match that I say was close, the only matches, I would say there's two matches that I think was close to these two, was Sydal versus Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
That was a really good match. That was, I can say, or the 6-man X Division championship match. Those two matches were stellar. They were really, really good. that I could definitely put on the level of this tag team match. I think I probably do agree with you and say has been the best match of the tag team, of the new regime, because, like you said, from beginning to end, it was just on and popping. It was action. It was just nice. It was a really, really good match. I love to see that Jeff Jarrett is getting back to this. Like I said, when they got in, I said, I'm telling you, Jeff Jarrett is going to focus on delivering good matches first and foremost.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that without a doubt. And last time when he was in regime before, tag team division was the big thing for him. His tag team division has always been good, even back in the day with AMW, Natural Born Killers. I mean, not Natural Born Killers, excuse me. AMW. What was Chris Candino's group?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know, and you had the Team Canada.
Yeah.
The was the church, church. There was lots of teams that were good. The Triple X, with Chris Daniels and even Skipper. Then of course later on you had your Motor City, Beer Money, Ink Inc., Gunnar Murphy, even Relic and the Black Rain. That was a pretty good tag team. Always had strong tag team divisions with Jeff Jarrett, and he's going right back to that.
Oh, he is. It's like I said to you off air. It feels like Impact Wrestling how it used to be in the past. It gives you that buzz now. It gives you the energy. With when it was Dixie Carter running it without Jeff, you the Impact felt flat. You had a few good matches. I can't say there wasn't good match. There was good matches, but it didn't have that buzz. It didn't have the energy. And now all that's back. You notice how loud the crowd is now.
Exactly. Impact is enthusiastic about what they're seeing. And it's like week after week now, because it used to be where sometimes they were excited, most of the time not. And then you got a lot of the time where they're just sitting on their hands and not being excited at all. But for like the last 4-5 weeks, they have been all the way in there. They've been loud. They've just been live. They've been with great chants. They've been really feeling everything that has been Impact Wrestling, and they've shown that they are electric. It's nice. Like I said, you can hear the difference. You can see the difference in everything. And I know the Indian fans, they're gonna tear it up. It's gonna be fire. They're gonna tear it up. I know the Indian fans are gonna go nuts.
No, these
when they start touring, you start seeing some stuff on TV in different places other than the Impact Zone. Even though the Impact Zone is livening up and showing their enthusiasm more so, but when they start touring and people are paying the money to get in those shows to see Impact Wrestling, they're not going to waste. They're not going to waste that money. They're going to be enthusiastic, and then we're going to get a lot of good shows because the wrestlers feed off of that. The talents feel better and more invigorated when you have that pop, or if you're a heel, you have those people booing you. But to get a reaction is a whole lot better than getting no reaction, and it's better for everyone, from talent to fans to management to everything, and it makes for a better show.
Yeah, it does. People are starting to care about Impact Wrestling now, and that's one of the main things. The fans are starting to care again, and if Impact keeps going the way it's going, it is going to be absolutely phenomenal and amazing, and I just hope the growth continues and the stuff that Jeff Jarrett brings in keeps coming and coming.
No doubt. Totally agree.
One thing I found quite interesting, and I actually quite like it, that they're putting Magnus as a heel. I prefer Magnus as a heel because when he was back in Impact Wrestling the first time, when he was playing the good guy, I found him boring. But I'm quite liking this heel gimmick that he's playing at the minute. We did see him backstage with Bruce Pritchard accusing Bruce of costing him the GFW Global Championship. and even, tell him he's out of contendership. And this is another thing that I like. Just because you lose a title doesn't mean you're getting an instant rematch. I quite like that they're doing that.
Yeah, it makes sense because you don't want to get the same matches. You got to get stale. And two, when you got more talents, just showing that, you got to be on top of your game. You got to step up because it don't mean you automatically get a chance. I like that idea too. It's giving room for the next person to step in and get an opportunity. And that's what Impact Wrestling is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about opportunity. It's supposed to be about wrestling. It's supposed to be about the fans. And as fans, we don't want to see the same matches over and over again. Yeah, unless it's like a series of two good competitors that we can really get into. Because, before we start getting more and more talent, we saw a lot of the same matches over and over again. And that got stale. It got boring. Even though I did like Matt Hardy and EC3. Matt Hardy versus EC3 got kind of boring.
Yeah.
And there was others. Bobby Lashley versus Eddie Edwards got boring. It did. At least in my opinion. I don't know about everybody else, but it got boring. And now we're not going to get that boredom now. We got varieties. Think about the last 4 weeks. You got EC3 versus James Storm. Alberto El Patron versus Magnus. Magnus versus Matt Morgan. What else we got? And then even on the Grand Championship, Moose versus Marseille Rocket. We got who the rest of the fight. But there's lots of different matches that we're getting. We're not even with the X Division. We saw DJZ wrestle everybody every week.
Yeah, we did.
We saw week after week. We saw DJZ, and now we don't have to see DJZ every week because we got a lot more stars.
Oh yeah, and it's like we're getting variety, and that's what we've needed for a long time. The problems in the past, we always had problems with the roster being small, but now the roster's massive. Some people are not even able. We're not seeing the same people week in, week out.
Right.
And it brings excitement as well, because when that person comes back, we're excited to see him back. When someone wrestles week in, week out, you're just going to sit there and go, oh, same person. Do you know what I mean? If by having a person in and out, you're craving that person more. You want to see that person more. You're craving it. And so when that person comes, it makes it more special.
Exactly. Like, I'm waiting to see what's going to go on with Crimson and Brown now.
Yep.
We haven't seen them, so I'm wondering. Well, when they come out, we're going to be like, okay, shoot, we're ready because we're not oversaturated with anybody. We're not even oversaturated with Alberto El Patron. He's back, and people thought, he's going to get in the top spot, but we're still not oversaturated. We don't have to see him each and every week. He's still wrestling over in other companies and stuff because Impact Wrestling gives you the opportunity to do that, which is great. But we're not oversaturated with anybody. Not Matt Sydal. We're not oversaturated with Magnus. We're not oversaturated with Bobby Lashley. We're not oversaturated with anyone. Not even Low Key. Not even Andrew Everett. Nobody. Because there's so many people on the roster where we don't have to see the same people week in, week out. And then the ones that aren't wrestling, they're going to the Crash. They're going to AAA. They're going overseas. They're going to WOW. They're doing all this. So it's like, okay, it may not be on TV, but I still got work. I'm still getting paid. So, you know what I mean? And guess what? They may not be on American TV, but if they go wrestle on AAA, they're on Mexican TV. Mexican national TV. If they go to the Crash, they're on TV. Mexican national TV. If they go to WOW, they're on United Kingdom national TV. So they're still on television. You just maybe not in the U.S. and they're still making money. So you can't go wrong. I may not be in TV in the United States, but guess what? I'm being sent somewhere to work and I'm still making my money. So it's just amazing what Impact Wrestling is doing on that tip. You know what I mean? And because we get variety over here and just as well in other countries and other promotions, because guess what? Those are new faces they get to see over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Lashley had a match in Crash, last month, 2 months ago? Boom, how many people in Crash, in Mexico get to see Lashley wrestle? In Japan and Noah, how many people get to see Bram and Robbie E wrestle? In AAA, how many people get to see our wrestlers wrestle? That's the whole point. And that makes things fresh for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. You know what I mean? We don't get bored anymore because we get to see fresh stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, I can't wait till when we start seeing some guys from Triple A actually come into the Impact Zone. You know, there is a couple of guys I've mentioned before that I'd love to see in the Impact Zone. But the thing is, with working with so many companies, you can do things like that. You know, as it's tapings, you know, we can take someone to come for the 2 or 3 days taping, and then they can go back to AAA and do their normal stuff with AAA.
Exactly. So we get to see him Mexico and America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just perfect.
But I do think we will be going back to live every show when we start moving around. But
we need it. That'd be great because if we can eliminate spoilers, that'll bring more viewers too. If spoilers are just completely eliminated because we got our live shows, people are going to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like I said to you, he is taking things gradual. He's not rushing everything, and I think like I said, the way they're doing everything is perfect. I can't fault Jeff Jarrett's regime at all. After that, we saw Congo Kong, with Laura Van Ness taking on Braxton Sutter. I like the match, but I kind of want this to end. I want to see him to go after other people.
I think Congo Kong is going to end up being the one to, I guess, win the rivalry. Because, like you said, we want to see Congo Kong going against other people. I do too. Because as up to this point, Braxton Sutter is the only person that has wrestled that wasn't a jobber. That wasn't, just a squash match. So it's obvious that they kind of want to, be gradual with Congo Kong. Have him defeat the jobbers, and then step up to Braxton Sutter, have a nice program with him, beat Braxton Sutter, and then I'll step up to the next person to kind of put him in a title picture. This is that old style of booking I talked about with Jeff Jarrett, to where you get a new guy or a person that you want to build, you start them, beat up on jobbers, put them in the mid-card with mid-carders, have them go ahead and take care of them in little feuds or whatever, and then bring them on up to the top card, and then have them go from there. Not saying if he'll win a title or anything in between that, but I can see what Jeff Jarrett is doing because he's big on Congo Kong. I've read that myself, and I've heard him talk about Congo Kong. So I could definitely see Congo Kong, but he's going to be the person that steps through. He's going to be one of the first people that get that bill, one of those people they see. And like AJ Styles, I compare AJ Styles because that's how he started. He's relatively unknown. Jeff Jarrett pulled him in. He started building gradually. X Division, first X Division champion, tag team champion, then became NWA champion, so on and so forth, and it continued to grow bigger. Same thing with Samoa Joe. Same thing with a few other wrestlers. EY. Jeff Jarrett knows how to build stars. He knows how to take them, relatively unknown people. He knows how to make someone. Did the same thing with Jay Lethal. He knows how to take a star that he sees potential in and run them through the steps. He knows. And that's how you build a star. That's truly how you build a star. Putting someone that you don't know into a main event scene where people don't feel like he's deserving is not how you build a star. People want to see someone work their way up. And that's when you build your biggest stars. That's why Jay Lethal's in a position where he is now. Because remember, in Impact Wrestling, when Jay Lethal started wrestling, he was losing to everybody. He was a jobber.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I saw Monty Brown pounce him like twice, and he could barely even move. You know what I mean? I've seen him lose to the likes of AJ Styles, and then the next week, Monty Brown, and the next week, so and so. And then eventually, Jay Lethal started winning matches, and he started getting built, and he became X-Division champion. He became Black Machismo. He became, Ric Flair. He became a staple in then TNA, but Impact Wrestling. And then he became noticed, and now he's heavyweight championship status. You know what I mean? Same thing with Bobby Roode. Same thing. It's so many. So, and I see Congo Kong being the next one because he already said he's trying to find that next person anyway. I don't know if he'll be the next big star of wrestling altogether, be like AJ Styles is right now. And like Bobby Roode is trying to become, but I don't see that happening. So not to the level of AJ Styles. But he definitely is the person that I see he's working in progress to become the next big thing, at least in Impact Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like we was just saying earlier, there's a lot of stars that's got a lot of potential. And I think a lot of people, a lot of these wrestlers are going to surprise people on how good they're going to be.
I think Jeff Jarrett's big on that whole faction that's together, because Sienna's Global Force Wrestling Champion. Congo Kong, I can see a build going on. KM, he's getting a lot of time, even if it's just with his personality. But KM's getting a lot of time on TV each week, even if it's just to bully somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's getting a lot of time. So in Laurel Van Ness, she's getting a lot of time. Everybody in this faction is getting an ample amount of time. So I think Jeff Jarrett has something for each one of these people. I think I could definitely see KM as being one of the big, one of the top heels in the company. I don't see any other direction they could be going, because he gets a lot of time. He gets a lot of character time, because he hasn't wrestled. I think he's wrestled one match, and he's going to wrestle next week with Sienna, of course. But he's got a lot of time to show his personality, show his character. And I think that's saying that Jeff Jarrett wants something bigger for him. Because why invest your time in someone's character if you're not going to put them in their faces? Why in the hell do you want us to know what kind of person the KM is if we're not going to see him a lot on Impact Wrestling? That's not the way that you do things. You know what I mean? And that's old style of booking. You kind of put him in our face, show him what we got, show him what he has, put him over a few times, make him this big old character, and now he's a staple in our mind. Now you don't have to put him in our face so much, because we're already thinking about him. Like, damn, what's KM going to do next? He's fucking crazy. He's a bully. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Because I do want to know, okay, what KM going to do next? You know what I mean? Like, is he retarded or something? What's the saying? You calling me a liar? Retarded. But, and it works, because I'm pretty sure everybody that watches Impact, they kind of like want to know, is Cam going to do something retarded again with somebody else? Is he going to bully somebody else?
Yeah.
When he come out with he reacts with the crowd. He always telling them things up, telling them to shut up, and the crowd reacts to him. So that's why I feel like KM will be, it's someone that Jeff Jarrett has in his eye and feels like he could be like a big heel, because I noticed that in every aspect of the show gets involved with the fans. He has his skits, his promos and stuff, and he comes out with Sienna and her big matches and stuff like that. They're giving us KM.
Yeah,
they're giving it to us on a regular basis. So expect KM to be a big name in Impact Wrestling. Expect him to be somebody that re-signs when that time comes.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we did see Congo Kong absolutely destroying Braxton Sutter, absolutely destroying him. Really showing what a beast he is. Even after the match, when KM and Sienna came into attack, we saw Mohabali. Was it Mohat? Hate saying his name.
Mohabali Shearer.
That's it, Mohabali Shearer. Come and make the save. Now I'm interested to find out next week why he made the save. Why did he feel that he needed to come in?
Right, have they been friends or something and we don't know about it behind the scenes, and now they're going to come out with it, something like that? What's going on with that? I totally agree. I was like, why is Shearer coming out? Shearer helping the man? And then he made a match as if he knew that Shearer would have it. So there's definitely got to be more to it, because it's like, okay, somebody came and made a save. I don't know why. I'm not going to put myself in the match with him. He could be trying to turn his back on me. He could be just trying to bait me. So I feel like, that there's got to be something behind that. Like, they must have been going out for a beer or something. Who knows? I don't know. But definitely there's got to be some kind of chemistry to have for that, like that. And I'm glad it happened, because I've been wanting to see KM and Congo Kong as a tag team anyway. Because, they're in the same faction. And I think that would be a really good tag team. I think they should be even put that in the tag team division, truth be told. But we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I think for me, they are trying to find something for where to put Braxton Sutter, sorry. They tried the X Division. It didn't work. So maybe that is why they brought Shearer out, to see about putting him in tag team and see where that goes. It does seem like they're testing things, see what the fan reaction is, and they are actually listening to the fans more. And
yeah.
And that's what's good, If you listen to your fan base, it's brilliant, because it makes more, like I said, more people are engaged if you actually listen to the fans. You know, it's like if you look at the WWE at the minute, you know, there's so many things the fans are unhappy. You hear the fans chanting boring and stuff like this. You don't hear that in the Impact Zone. You don't hear the fans.
No, you don't.
There's engagement, and that's what makes Impact great.
Totally agree. Like when Alberto Patron, when he won the GFW title, he went into the crowd and celebrate with them, and the crowd was all engaged.
Oh, yeah.
You want that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Another thing I quite liked about the show is before the Ultimate match, we saw the video package of highlights of the best moments in X Division history, which I thought was a brilliant way to build up to the main event. And also, you know, if there's people that have never seen Ultimate X or don't really know what the X Division is, it gives them a glimpse of it.
Agreed. I'm glad they X Division was the main event again. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, because that was one thing.
I think that's really good.
Oh, yeah, because that was one thing that was always lacking. The X Division was always lacking, and now the X Division's getting put the right way. And I'm so happy they don't have that stupid green thing everywhere where it says X Division on it like we used to have with the old, because I absolutely hated that. But the way they package the X Division now is a lot better. After that, we saw backstage Mackenzie Mitchell interviewing Karen Jarrett about the ongoing feud between Davey Richard and Eddie Edwards, Angelina Love and Alicia. And then Karen announced a mixed tag team match between the two couples for next week. I have a feel like this feud's going to go on till Slammiversary.
Yeah. We talked about that before. We pretty much determined that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to go on to Slammiversary.
Yeah, I more believe it now. You know, I hate to say it, but I could even see them doing, like we've said, the Davey Richard and Ed Edwards, but I can also see them doing another match with Angelina Love and Alicia on Slammiversary as well.
Yeah, no doubt. It could end up like that: Eddie versus Davey, and then Alicia versus Angelina. I wouldn't doubt that at all. I don't think I'm be so hot about the Angelina Alicia match, but the Davey versus Eddie match would probably be damn good. But,
oh, definitely. If this is why, and I've said this before, I really hope it's a Full Metal Mayhem. If you think about the matches they've had when they were the Wolves, you know, the Wolves against Team 3D and the Hardys, amazing match, really amazing matches. So I'm really hoping that they have that as the end of the rivalry.
Right. I think if it goes past Slammiversary, it'll be going on too long, because it's been going a while now. It's going on for a while. So I think that'd be a kind of overkill. It needs to culminate at Slammiversary. Even though it's a good rivalry, because like everything was done in pretty good taste. They haven't really interfered in like each other's matches like that. They kind of like wait to after matches and things like that, which is good because we don't always want to see matches concluded disqualification and stuff like that. So it's been a rivalry done in good taste. It's been very intense, especially between, with Angelina Love and Davey Richards, and I like that intensity that they have in their characters. It's really good. I like to see a heel team or a heel character be like that. I like to see that intensity, show why you're a believable heel. Davey Richards makes it look good. Angelina makes it look even better. We all know she's a damn good heel from her Beautiful People days. And then her days with Winter and all that. So we know Angelina could do that thing. And Davey's doing it well too. They complement each other really well. Alicia and Eddie, they do the babyface thing real well. They do the whole happy couple thing real well. All of them play their roles and they portray themselves really well. They portray their characters and what they're doing really well. And it's refreshing. I like to see that in this field because You could definitely see, like we talked about before, the differences in the two. You could definitely see why maybe they did split up because Davey has his dark side that we all had no idea about, and it's coming out. It has come out, and it is complete opposite of Eddie's and Alicia's happy-go-lucky, positive attitude of togetherness and friendliness, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they contrast so much to where it's like it spills out because like opposites attract. So of course they're going to clash at every chance they get because there's so much opposite. And it is great because that's kind of old style too.
Yeah.
That's very old school too. You have one strong heel that nobody likes, that hates the fans, that everybody boos, and they want to see go down. And you got this really strong face that is all about the fans, that it's all about greatness and the possibilities and positivities and things like that. And they go at it, and you got a hero villain storyline, and that's what this is. This is a classic hero villain storyline, and especially makes it even better because they were a great tag team. And if you have a great tag team going at each other now, it better be good. It better be good. When Beer Money split and you had Bobby Roode versus James Storm, it was a good rivalry. It even went on into two separate rivalries over time, but it was a good one. You don't have a legendary tag team split up and have a rivalry and it don't be damn good. And this is no exception, and I'm liking it. I like the way they're going about it. And I commend Jeff Jarrett because, like I said, I like the old style of booking. Yeah. It's more in the old school type of wrestling, but I'm an old school wrestling type of guy. I do like a lot of what's going on nowadays, but when it comes to the booking aspect of things, I like old school booking better.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Before we continue with the show, we have got a question. What division would you put Congo Kong in after the feud?
After the feud, see, Congo Kong is a lot of things. I would have to go with the Grand Championship because you can't crowd the heavyweight division right now because he would kind of get overshadowed because the names that are in the heavyweight division right now are well-known names that have put in work in Impact Wrestling before or put in. I think they've all put it in except for Alberto El Patron, but he's a well-known name somewhere else that has already had proven himself in his track record, as opposed to Congo Kong has proven himself in the Indies, where a lot of people on the global scale do not watch. So to put him in the heavyweight division now, the only proper thing to do with him would be to job him after putting on good matches, because you will confuse the hell out of people, making Congo Kong a top contender in the heavyweight division, coming straight to the gate and not being known already. You can do that with El Patron, because of his name he's made already. You can do that with Mike Seidel because of the name he's made already. You can do that with Low Key because of the name he's made already. But you cannot do that with Congo Kong. So after this, you put him in the Grand Championship division, if that's what you want to call it. It's still the heavyweight division, but it's for a different title. But have him go for that, and go about it that way. But definitely don't put him in the heavyweight division for the big title.
See, I could even see him putting Kong and KM together in the tag team division.
I think that would fit even better. I actually think the tag team division will fit him even better right there, Ashley. I totally agree with that. I think Congo Kong and KM appearing like that would be perfect for Congo Kong after him fighting Braxton Sutter, because I think maybe that's what this is. It's kind of like a setup to see if that'll work. Just like you said, you hit it on the head. And it may very well be for both teams. It may very well be the same way for Braxton Sutter and Shera, because they really don't have a direction in Impact Wrestling either. More so Braxton Sutter with the storyline, but not Mahabali Shera. Yeah. So this will be a way for all four men to find out what they'll be doing further in Impact Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Another thing that's really impressed me is EC3 versus Cowboy James Storm. The reason this has impressed me so much, I like the way they're portraying James Storm. I think, he needs to stay the Cowboy. I can't understand why the last regime kept putting him in stables. It was like they did the Revolution thing, and then after that, they stuck him in DCC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been crying out for ages for James Storm to be on a solo run and to see him go for the main title. And now I'm happy with this regime. They're doing that.
Right. Like, James Storm kind of transcended factions and teams after Beer Money.
Yeah.
After Beer Money, they should have just let him do his own thing. DCC could have worked if it had been booked right by the old regime. It wasn't. Leave him be. He started off as a tag team wrestler for the longest time in Impact Wrestling and did a damn good job doing that with every single partner they put him with.
Yeah.
Every partner they put him with, he's won tag team gold. Except for DCC because it didn't last long. So, but every steady partner he's won tag team gold with. It's time to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really going to get more buzz out of a tag team in James Storm after Beer Money. There would probably be nothing better or another better tag team pairing than Bobby Roode would. So let him do. He's an original. He's been champion before. He puts on good matches. His promos are pretty good. The fans love him. The fans love James Storm. He's one of the most beloved by fans in Impact Wrestling. So give the fans what they want and give them a strong push and or title run, and leave him solo. Leave him the cowboy. Leave him doing his beer drinking. Leave him doing what we've been loving for so long and what brings us and draws us to the cowboy. Leave him alone. Don't pair him with nobody. Don't give us any more factions with James Storm. Especially because the Revolution was really nasty. That was just real sour taste in my mouth. And let's see, he won't be champion anytime soon. I don't see that with what's going on now. Well, maybe, who knows? Who knows? Because I don't know if they'll push somebody that just came in over James.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I would definitely like to see him become a champion before certain others, such as Matt Morgan. Even though Matt Morgan has never won a title, I think James is more deserving.
Yeah.
James Storm would carry the banner a little bit better right now. Excuse me. I definitely would like to see a James Storm push, especially now that they're getting him back on TV and then putting more of a focal point on him, as they kind of forgot to do that anyway. And then again, you signed the man for 2 years for $250,000 a year. Why in the hell would you not use him as much as you can?
Yep, totally agree with you. And also, James Storm's over with the fans. If you hear the noise when James Storm comes down, he's over with the fans. Why put him in stupid things that the fans were like, what? Why?
Right, exactly. And this is one of the most beloved in Impact Wrestling, so they don't want to see him in stupid situations and stupid gimmicks.
Totally agree. And I kind of like EC3 more as a heel. I really like EC3 as a heel.
Yeah, EC3 as a heel definitely works out better. He knows how to rock it, without a doubt. He knows how to make that work. He has the edge. I love that he attacked Bruce Pritchard. I love that. I absolutely love it. It's showing that I'm a badass and I just don't give a damn. And that's what EC3 was at his best. For to show me that he doesn't care about anyone but himself and he's going to do what he wants to do, regardless of the repercussions, I love that. I can't get enough of it. That's the Ethan Carter III I love.
It is. When he says, I'm a Carter. Some of my favourite moments with EC3 is when he had the match with Al Hebner. I know it was stupid, but it was brilliant. The way he said, I'm having a match with a Hall of Famer. Okay, it's Al Hebner.
Just like, get out of here.
But he does play that heel. He does play good fails, but he plays an even better heel. And I like it that he's playing a heel, but he's doing things on his own. He hasn't got a gang with him this time. So it is slightly different than last time, which I like.
His focus is a little different now. It's not even really okay, he's playing a heel, but last time he played a heel was like, I'm the man, y'all all need me. He's saying the same thing, but it's like the way he's going about it. I like it better. It's showing that, all right, I'm gonna show you that I am the only thing that I need, you know, as opposed to it's better. I think that he doesn't have a whole bunch of people with him.
Yeah, totally agree.
Mm-hmm. Because like it just shows the prestige and shows the type of competitor that he is, that he doesn't need those people. And then the people that he had with him, like if you were to try to bring back like some of the people he had with him, they got things going on too. So
This is why one thing I said to you earlier. I believe we're going to probably get King of the Mountain at Slammiversary because, especially with this match, if you look, it was going on to a solid match. Magnus gets involved in the match after leaving commentary. All you really need to add in there is Alberto Albatron and add in Bobby Lashley, and you've got your contenders for King of the Mountain. I honestly believe that's the way they need to go for this. And bring some of that tradition back to Slammiversary.
right, like how we were saying, some tradition needs to come back. Because it's very obvious that a lot of us were looking for that old feel, and we're getting it. I don't want to completely just go back to everything the way Impact Wrestling was, even though it was good. But there's still new aspects of wrestling but Jeff Jarrett is capturing that well, though. One thing, Jeff Jarrett is definitely going with the times, and he's not just trying to do everything that you used to. Because people have changed, fans have changed, the landscape of wrestling has changed. Even the way that people are booked has changed, because it used to be strictly you under a contract with a company and that's it. That's not the same no more. People doing pay-per appearances, they're not signing contracts yet. They're still doing 50 dates for a contract for a company in a year and stuff like that. It's definitely a different landscape. So yes, he's mixing old tradition as well as a new way of life in wrestling.
Yeah.
A new way of doing things, and to me, it's hitting on all cylinders. The only thing that we need to see, not only that's not translating, is to viewers on the night of Impact Wrestling. But not everybody can catch Impact Wrestling on Pop TV. But the social media numbers, the digital numbers, has shown that everything it's been doing has been not in vain, because the numbers digitally have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Subscribers on YouTube and things, their website, everything. People are now paying attention. They're watching. People are, if not on TV, they're watching somewhere, and now going to India and all that, it's making a difference. And it's like you said, it's a lot of this old tradition mixed with this new stuff that's going on. I like it. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
It is. But it's like I said, if they did bring King of Mountain back, they need to stick it just to Slammiversary once a year, because then when it happens, it's special.
I agree with you, and there should be a championship match probably.
I definitely, or even if they did and made the King of the Mountain for number one contender, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too. Exactly. They have it 1-on-1. Yeah, that'd be a damn good one. In fact, that'd probably be better. It probably would be better to have the King of the Mountain winner be the number one contender.
But it's going to be interesting to see next week what's going to happen with EC3 for pushing over Bruce Pritchard, and also for attacking the referee as well. And also what's going to happen to Magnus for getting involved as well. So, there's a lot of ways this can go. And, like I said, Impact is keeping us interested. It's key, and it's not throwing everything at once. Like I said, it's doing a build-up.
It's definitely a build-up. Definitely. What I was about to say, crap. I can't remember what my question was. I remember. Oh, yeah. Were there any questions? That's what my question was. Are there any questions that you see from anybody on Facebook right now?
No more at the moment. I'm keeping an eye out.
Okay, cool.
I've got to say, on the whole show, that match was a standout as well for me. With I know the match didn't finish, but it's the stuff that's happened in it stands out for me. After that, we got an update on Rockstar Spud. That he's coming back and he's coming for Swoggle next week. And hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully when he comes back, he's going to be Rockstar Spud and not come in the ring and sing, "I am Rockstar Spud." Look, just no. Don't bring Spud to what he was with Aaron Rex, please. No.
I like the video package I had. It made us feel like this is important.
Yeah.
I like that Swoggle and Impact Wrestling is serious. I mean, yeah, he laughs and kiki, but I thought that was really cool that fury came out of him for getting his pants pulled down. I like Swoggle a whole lot more in Impact Wrestling than I did in WWE.
Yeah.
A whole lot more. I mean, a whole lot more. I like that Impact Wrestling brings people over and they shed all that clowning, that laugh at you gimmick type crap. Sometimes it's good. It's not always a bad thing. But you know, you don't want to just copy what they did, and they didn't. They made Swoggle a fierce person. You know, I think that's cool. It's different from what we've seen, and I'm sure Swoggle's tired of doing the same crap too. Spud has been definitely needed something to I say reinvigorate him.
Yeah.
To get out of that stigma he's been having, and I think this is it. He's gonna come back ready to go. I don't know if he's gonna come back with the Rockstar gimmick, because from what it looked like with the video package, it's more like a serious Spud that had that, had the suit and tie on and things. But I can deal with that if it's a Spud that's serious about wrestling and not about singing for people or being someone's flunky and stuff like that. A Spud that stands on his own.
Yeah,
I would definitely enjoy that. That's what I want to see, a Spud that stands on his own. That saying, screw being funny. I want to see a Spud that's very serious, that's fed up with being looked over, that's fed up with being looked at as the small guy that can't, do his thing. That's the kind of a Spud I want to see come back. And I think that could happen, because I think they could use this thing with Swoggle as like his boiling point.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I've always been a fan of Rockstar Spud, but I do believe he does need to come back as a serious competitor. I think they can still do him as Rockstar Spud. He can still have that Rockstar look, but don't make him idiotic with it. Don't make him over the top with it. Make him a serious... because obviously with the video package, we're seeing he's going to be face. So have him as that sort of edgy, rocky, good guy. Mm-hmm. That's the way I think they need to go with him. And I think that's the way he'll get back over with the fans.
I'm trying to... Go on. I don't know who's going to be the heel in this, because Swoggle did what he did because he got his pants pulled down. So it's kind of just like revenge for embarrassing him. But then you got Spud in the video package about revenge and saying, I didn't mean to pull his pants down. So it's like he's looking for remorse, yet he still wants revenge. So I don't know who in the hell would be the heel or face. I'm wondering. So I guess we'll have to see next week how that goes.
I personally think it's going to be Swoggle as the heel, because if you look at it, yes, Spud did pull his pants down, but Swoggle went a bit extreme with it. I could understand a fight happening, but to use a hammer and to beat Spud down the way he was, I got the impression that Swoggle was more of the heel.
Okay. I was thinking that too. It seemed that way because of the viciousness he had, yeah.
I think that's the way they're going to go with it. After that, we did see Braxton Sutter talking about why Indian. Why India is so special, which is quite nice that they're, you know, we know they're going over to India. They're advertising it well. They're talking about it, and it is going to be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see the amount of people that will turn up, the atmosphere, because it is a different culture as well.
2 million people watch Impact every week in India. It's going to be a good turnout.
I didn't realise the numbers were that high in India.
It's going to be a big turnout. I have no doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah, definitely. After that, we had Sienna versus ODB. To me, I'm going to say it was a good match, but ODB didn't look great in it.
Nah, she seemed kind of like slow. A little.
But
she didn't sell too well.
She's always been that sort of a comedy wrestler, though, hasn't she? With the whole bam, the drinking.
I think Sienna's oversold on a few times. She's really good she's good. She oversells. That's just Sienna. And she kind of, I don't know if you noticed, like when she was taking the chest slap, she was sticking her chest out there like way before ODB was drawing back to slap her. So I'm like, Sienna, give her a chance. Like, damn. So I think the only thing was like I saw Sienna oversell a few times. I'm like even her facial expressions. Sienna puts on these facial expressions like she is completely dumbfounded or like I think she overacts sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I like her as a wrestler though. I think she competes really well. She got a good moveset. The match was decent. Not anything spectacular. The way it ended was kind of funny because like towards the end.
Bless you.
Excuse me, thank you. And I've seen this a few times with Sienna's matches, but she wasn't generating any offense towards the end of the match, and then, we get a couple moves and silence for the pin. So that still kind of throws me off that they kind of like end matches with Sienna on the losing, like getting beat up, and then all of a sudden she comes with the silencer and wins. So that kind of throws me off because it makes me feel like, oh, they put in all the work. You put in all this beating on Sienna. I mean, all these matches and everything, and she gets up, she kicks out at 2 and everything like this, and then Sienna does a move, then does a silencer 1, 2, 3. So it's like, okay. Like, what was the point? But Sienna put up more offense in this match in the beginning. She's pretty impressive. I got to give it to Sienna. She's pretty impressive when she's wrestling, especially when she has momentum because she has a variety of things she can do.
Yeah.
And then, like, towards the end of the match, she kind of, like, stopped being offensive altogether. And I noticed that's kind of how Sienna matches go. I don't know why they go kind of with the same pace and kind of like the same thing, but that's normally how it is. Sienna starts off dominating. Towards in the middle of the match, she takes a lot of bumps. And then at the end of the match, she kind of just wins out of nowhere. And that's pretty much how I've seen her matches go. If we have another Sienna match, it will probably go the same way. I want you to pay attention to that and tell me if I'm right or not. But that's what I've been seeing. So I just think like if you're gonna have Sienna should be a dominant type of character in the division because she has the look. She came in like that. It worked. They went away from it. So it's obviously trying to come back to it. And with the GFW title, like it being a middle finger to Karen Jarrett is good. I like that part of it too. But I think that if you're gonna portray her like that, have her get the momentum before she wins matches. I get it that it is unpredictable and anybody can win any given night anywhere, but it just kind of makes it hard for me to believe that you could take that much punishment from a legend of that in bad wrestling and then come back, do 2 moves and pin her, or in some cases just to silence her and then pin her. So that I just needed a more believable ending to some of Sienna's matches and that match in particular.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that point. I was interested in the match, but I did feel like I've seen better matches.
Right. I would say that. I would definitely say that would be the black eye of the show if there was one, or the bandage.
Oh, definitely. Now, to the next part. The next part, what I'm going to call the shocker. We saw Jeremy Borash making his return. Josh Matthews was freaking out about it. JB Eaton announces he has been reinstated thanks to the help of his attorney. And then comes Joseph Park.
Oh, Joseph Park, the attorney.
And JB says once again he will be leading the announcing in Impact Wrestling. Not only that, Joseph Park challenges Josh to a tag team match at Slammiversary.
Mm-hmm.
And says to Josh to find a partner. Now, I wasn't too crazy about the Joseph Park gimmick in the past. Because in the past it ran on too long. You could even hear the audience shouting, "You're Abyss." And it did get a bit right. Okay. I'm hoping that they sort of do this Joseph Park where he admits, "I am Abyss." And says the Abyss is the monster inside of me. If he can use it as saying, "This is the monster inside of me, my dark side," then I'll be sort of okay with the Joseph Park. But I think that's the way they need to do this, instead of him saying, "Abyss is my brother." If he says if he goes with the inside of me, it makes it more believable.
I don't know. I don't know what they're aiming for. If they're aiming for believable, or if they're aiming to. If I get the sense that that's what they want. They want people to say, "Hey, that's Abyss," and then I think they want that for him, like, "Oh, I'm his brother," and for the combat it. I think that's actually what they're looking for, because it's I kind of sense that, because we all know it's Abyss, and they know that everybody knows it's Abyss, and Josh Matthews, even "You're Abyss, you're Abyss," you think we're idiots, and he denied it, and I think that's kind of the aim they want. I think they want people, "You're fucking Abyss," but I'm gonna keep watching to see if you're gonna admit it. I'm gonna keep watching to see, how things go. I don't know what they're gonna do with that angle. With that, I do like the segment. I did. I think Josh Matthews sold it the most. Josh Matthews was the star of that segment.
Oh yeah.
Because Josh Matthews is a hell of an actor. If anything else, if he can't commentate, one thing I can say, he can put on a damn good show. He sold that so well, it didn't make any sense. Standing on top of the table, screaming at Joseph Park, "Who are you?" It was so. I mean, he was really, really, really into it, and he had me glued. I was really, really drawn by the way that Josh put everything into it. By the way he reacts to the crowd, calling them idiots to everyone. I give him that. It's like, and it's so believable the what he puts on for us. I totally believe that Josh Matthews will make a kick-ass, bomb-ass manager, because he has those qualities to make people hating, those qualities to bring heat. He is a heat drawer. He has great mic skills. I mean, he is really, really good on the mic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't give a. He may not be the best commentator, but when he gets on the mic, he makes you listen. You may not want to listen, but he makes you listen. And I think they should utilize that in some kind of capacity, whether it be a manager, a heel manager, whether it be, I don't know, but you definitely need to continue with that, because I listen when Josh Matthews gets on the mic when it comes to anything aside from commentating, when it comes to these storylines and him being a heel, because I think he kicks ass at it, and he hits on all cylinders when it comes to that. So I was drawn to the storyline itself, because it wasn't done during commentating. It was something set aside, and then to come out with the whole match and the mystery of who Josh's partner is going to be and the way he reacted to it and everything. To me, Josh made that segment. Josh Matthews totally made that segment to me. I really liked what he did, what he's doing, and I hope to see more of it. You know, I mean, until finally the feud is over with. I can deal with this feud like this instead of being at the commentators table with three of them and bickering and all that kind of crap. I can deal with the feud this coming at us like this, as opposed to them just forgetting that there's a wrestling match and bickering at each other with three people at the commentators table.
Oh yeah, totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. The way it's just one of the things you said, Josh as a manager. I totally agree. I do believe that Josh could be the manager of Lashley.
That would be good.
I think that would be a perfect fit.
I was thinking EC3 until yesterday. Remember how we talked about it? I was thinking that, him and EC3 would be a really good pairing. But with the edge that Josh has coupled with the edge that Lashley has, and Josh being able to speak and act, the way that he does, be able to draw that heat the way that he does, with Bobby Lashley's arrogance as I'm the best in the world and nobody can beat me. It is great because Josh should draw heat and have people wanting to kill him and Lashley. And Lashley wants people to come so he can take their heads off anyway. So it's like, okay, yeah, I can definitely keep Josh as my manager because he's gonna bring me more heads to roll. So, yeah, I think it would be. Like I said, I originally thought EC3 and Josh would be like the best pairing, but now I'm definitely leaning towards Lashley and Josh.
Yeah, because one thing with EC3, he's a good talker, always has been. And, for me, if they put Josh Matthews with EC3, I think you're taking away from EC3.
Totally agree.
But putting him with Lashley is an okay talker. I'm not going to say he's the best, but he's not the worst, but he's an okay talker. So having Josh as the mouthpiece with Lashley's ring ability, I think would really stand out. And we don't really see many managers these days anymore.
Right. Yeah, a lot of shit. Yeah, definitely. That's Josh Matthews is kind of like a heel manager, like your Bobby Heenan and those type of managers, to where they're heat drawers. They do not walk a line of heel and face. They're completely, no doubt, 100% heel. They're here to be the talkers. Remember, Bobby Heenan, they were talkers for people that didn't talk quite as well. Your best managers were the ones that were boisterous, that were good mic skills, that were talking for others. Jimmy Hart, people like them. They ran their goddamn mouths. Excuse my French, but they ran their mouths and they did it well. And they talked for the wrestlers that really couldn't do it for themselves. And Josh Matthews fits that mold at 100%. Being that, like you said, Lashley isn't the best talker in the world, even though he's made leaps and bounds, Josh Matthews couldn't. All he would have to do was compliment what Josh said, and he'd be completely happy. It was good when Lashley, hey, what's going on? Was part of the BDC, and MVP did a lot of the talking for Lashley. That worked too, because then Lashley was pretty bad at all. I mean, pretty bad altogether when it comes to on the mic. But it works if you can get the right person to talk for him, and it works out. And I think definitely, Josh Matthews is that dude.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it was nice that Josh went off and, went to go and look for a partner. And we saw JB and Pope commentating for the main event, for the Ultimate X match. And this match, oh my God, this match stood out. And I was so happy that finally an X division we can be proud of and actually be excited about that isn't DJZ versus somebody. At last, we're getting the mixture.
Yeah, we get a mixture of our talents and of their skills. If you notice, our X division wrestlers, they're all high flyers, yes, but they have different things that, when it comes to things that aren't high flyer moves, they have their niches, like low key being his feet, like Josh Matthews says, educated feet. Loki got him. He has educated feet. The Skywalker, Andrew Everett, those drivers, Franken drivers, and things like that. Hurricanes. He that's his thing. Desmond Xavier, his thing is just being fast and flipping and flipping and flipping. You know what I'm saying? Matt Seidel, he's a high flyer that does like that move he did on he's one of those persons that does an unexpected reversals, just like Desmond Xavier. You know, everybody has their different niches about them, aside from just high flying and jumping through ropes and stuff like that. We all can expect certain things, you know, and that's just so wonderful as opposed, excuse me, you know, instead of seeing DJZ do the same thing week in, week out, because we know what's going to happen. So we know what to look for in each match. We know if there's a certain person in a certain situation or position, we kind of know DJZ is going to do this or DJZ is going to do that because he's on the outside of the ring. Well, we know DJZ is going to do this flip or this, we know DJZ is going to do that. And it gets boring to be able to predict the match. You can't predict these matches anymore. You know, all these different styles and the different action, because you know, there's even in the matches, people have their signature moves and things, but people aren't just doing their signature moves in these exhibition matches. They're doing all kinds of different things, you know. And before, we all we saw was wrestlers getting in there, they wrestle around for a little bit, do a couple of spots, do the signature moves, and then we end up with a DJZ victory. So it's like it was predictable and it was boring because we could probably, you know, kind of commentate it ourselves and tell you what's about to happen. Now we can't do that.
I totally agree with you. And this match, is it the first time we've actually had 3 people in an Ultimate X match?
Right, instead of 4. Right.
Yeah. But it still worked. I can't... I'm trying to think if there is anything that was missing out on this match, and I really can't pick at anything bad at this.
No, it's hard to pick anything bad because, like, you had continual action. You had one-on-one action between the people. You had one-on-one action. You had people that were getting knocked in and out, people resting up. That punch that Loki did into the chair, Trevor Lee's face was stupid. It was just crazy. And then it affected him the whole match. He had to go win by climbing all the way to the top because he couldn't hold on to the rope, which was brilliant, which was really brilliant. The way the match ended with everybody in the middle and Loki kicking Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee off and Andrew having a 15-foot drop into his back. You know, it was brilliant. Like the foot stomps by Loki, like the back-to-back action moves. Okay, the foot stomp what was the transition? It was the foot stomp into the Franken driver into the power bomb, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like to have back-to-back action like that, and it was good, man. It was incredible. It was the second best match of the night to me, with the tag team being the first.
Yeah.
But it was a really good way to end the night. It was a really good match, and like we spoke about, I think it was Andre Corbeil's, or was it Brian Keona's BQ from the Kingdom Mountain podcast? It was somebody important. Those guys are all important, you know. They were saying the old style of booking to where you end the match. I think it was Andre Corbeil actually. He was responding to something I put on Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong, BQ. But it was like old style of booking. In the match, a main event.
And also with this match as well, I loved it that Trevor Lee avoided Loki's foot stomp and hit a double foot stomp of his own.
A card with a good main event, you always supposed to end your card with a really good main event.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it was also quite nice to see that Trevor Lee hit his own foot stomp on Loki, which we know it's normally Loki that hits these.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Hold on, let me get my sound back. It just went down because somebody called me while we were talking. I think it turned down my sound. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And I think I'm actually in the call when I think about it. Or no, it's my call. Hold on. All right. So you speak for me so I can hear you?
Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, good.
But it's just like you were saying, the match had a lot of there was a lot of to and fro in, there was a lot of high spots, there was a lot of technical spots. It had a bit of everything, and you know, even people that are not in Impact even noticed how good this match is and how good the exhibition is getting now. You know,
Right.
especially to have someone like Ricochet, which I've got to say is probably one of my favourites at the moment, comment on this match. And if, you know, if Jeff Jarrett ever listens to this, sign Ricochet. Get him in the Impact Zone.
Straight like that. Yeah, definitely. Like, Ricochet is a can't miss in a division such as the X division. You know, he would definitely be. You would have to make him a top guy.
Oh yeah,
no doubt you would have to, and it'd be justified 100%. If you put the title on him a week after getting in there, you still are justified 100% because he is just that talented.
Yeah.
If there's any way possible, if there's any inkling of a possibility to get Ricochet on the roster, you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it. With him recognizing that the X division has gotten better, I think it's a possibility. You know, like he took to Twitter, and I read it myself, and the man said the X division is getting fire. I mean, it's fire again. He put the fire emojis, and he's right. And for a wrestler like that just recently complained about Lucha Underground guys possibly being able to do Impact Wrestling, for him to just complain about that and to say what he has said, I think that means even more.
Yeah.
And, you know, that says a whole lot.
Oh yeah, definitely. It really does. And hopefully, from what we've seen and what he's said, there could be a big possibility we see him in the Impact Zone, and I really do hope he does. But to me, the whole show, I'm going to say it. For me, it's an A. That's how much I love this show.
It may be the best one we've seen all year. I totally agree with that. I definitely give it an A. Like I said, if there was any hiccup, it would be just having ODB in that championship match.
Yeah.
I can't take much negative away from it. You know, it was booked really well. Even the Congo Kong versus Braxton Sutter, I'm glad they didn't give Braxton the win, because that kind of would have been unbelievable at this point. I think everybody that won the matches should have won the matches. I think the way that EC3 versus what was it, EC3, that match ended right because you didn't get a decisive winner, no pinfalls, no nothing. Certain people shouldn't be like taking clean pins right now. Everything was just done really good, you know. It making me feel like the GFW Tag Team Tournament is going to be like spectacular. I think that's what I look forward to the most. That and the what's going on going on next in the X division. I'm a tag team lover myself. That's my favorite type of wrestling, is tag team wrestling. So I'm super excited about this GFW Tag Team Division, especially LAX. They got me excited about Impact Wrestling Tag Team Division all over again, because for a long time Impact Wrestling had the best tag team division hands down. There was nobody touching it. And I'm feeling like that's going to come back, because you know that time when Motor City and Beer Money were going at it, and then Generation Me, aka the Young Bucks, was there. Inc. There was a lot of competition going on during that time, and I see that coming back, and I'm excited about it. These matches in the tag team division have been stellar. X division stellar, even the heavyweight division stellar. Alberto El Patron keep putting us on these damn good ass matches. James Storm, EC3 put on a clinic. We are definitely not lacking in in-ring action. We're getting them. I think the weakest matches we have right now are knockouts matches, or women's matches. That's the only thing I still think that Impact still needs to show more improvement on, is the knockouts. everywhere else, they're showing improvement week after week. It's getting a little better in the knockouts, but they still have a lot to work on with the knockouts. So that right now, that's what I would like to see more so of. But I know things you one at a time, gradually. So I'm satisfied with what's going on right now and the improvements they made. Great show. The JB and Josh storyline was better.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting better. It's just crazy. I'm glad because I was afraid we was just going to get week after week until Slammiversary bitching at the commentary table. And we got something different this time, which was really cool. So, and we end up getting a match out of it. So, we'll see who Josh's partner's going to be. And that's something else we could be excited about. And the way the storylines have developed, the way the matches we've been given, it definitely has me anxious. I like being anxious about wrestling. I like being anxious about Impact. I like being excited. And I know, especially from being on social media, that I am not the only one that's excited. You're not the only one that's excited. There are people in the industry, wrestlers, that are excited. There are so many people excited about Impact Wrestling right now. And it's just like, it's overjoyed because of all the negativity that we dealt with the last few years. How often are we getting negative news now?
It's non-existent.
Here.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. We don't get negative news about Impact Wrestling anymore. And it's such a breath of fresh air. David Meltzer, take that. God damn it. That. You got nothing to report now. Enjoy that. Suck it up. You got nothing to report now. How about that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm loving it. And it's just getting better and better. And Impact Wrestling, you got an A show. If it's an A show, I hope we get the same thing next week.
Oh, definitely. I'm just so impressed. It's to see such a turnaround as well. I'm so impressed with what Anthem have done, what Jeff Jarrett have done. Like I said, they've just got to keep it going. And, like you said, the social media numbers are up. People are talking about Impact Wrestling. And the more people that talk, the more people that are going to be interested and want to see it.
Damn right. People get on Impact Fan Nation because you can start seeing the enthusiasm if you don't know, and just as well as Slamdown, as well as TNA Mafia, as well as the Respect That Out community on Facebook. You get to see the enthusiasm that Impact Wrestling fans are having, man. We're going through a time that we haven't been through in a long time. The excitement is everywhere, not just in America, but in India and the United Kingdom. I know Australian fans are probably going to be starting to get excited because Jeff Jarrett has talked about getting back out there. I mean, there's so much excitement all over the world, especially abroad. Maybe not even in the United States because the social media numbers are showing that, but definitely in the United Kingdom and India. India right now, I know India feels like top of the world because that's what they want. They want Impact Wrestling. They don't want WWE as much. They want Impact Wrestling, and we're going to be the first major company to have their flagship show in Indian territory to be in India. That's ahead of WWE. We have gotten a jump on them in the Indian market, and we're going to hold that down just like we're doing in the United Kingdom. And that's just going to translate to the United States. It's going to. It's going to happen. So I'm so excited about everything. I'm probably going to catch me some WOS and see what's been going on over there. See if I can find the stuff because I've been able to do that in the past. And I'm going to start posting some stuff because I know everybody isn't able to see a lot of stuff that I look up and research because I look up a lot of indie things, a lot of stuff that goes on with Partners in Impact. I watched the Global Tag League. I try to access as much as I can when it comes to Impact Wrestling, their partners and everything else. So I want to be able to share with everyone that may not be able to access that stuff. So I'll just be looking out, Impact Wrestling fans, so I can get as much exposure to Impact that I can get to you guys. So look out on Slamdown. I'm gonna post some things on Slamdown, just like I posted the Global Tag League on Slamdown, and get some things out there for us to see, expose everything that we got going on. Because Congo Kong's supposed to be in going to WOW, and that's good stuff. I mean, it's good wrestling that we're not seeing. And if you haven't seen WOW anyway, just check it out because it's good stuff. I've been watching it and I like it. You know, I like it. Grado's champ right now. See how long he keeps that title. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, World of Sport's got a big legacy.
Yeah, WOS. Excuse me.
It's all right. You're not English. I'll forgive you. But this is what I like, and this is what I like about Impact Wrestling. It's they are willing to work with people where the other competition would rather buy companies out.
Right.
You know, and this is what I love about what Jeff Jarrett has done. You know, he wants to work with everybody and, you know, forget what Rebby says. I don't believe half the stuff she bloody posts on Twitter.
No.
But the thing with Impact is it cares about wrestling, cares about its fans, and it cares about its roster.
Right. And we definitely see that now as opposed to Dixie Carter. We all pretty much understood that Dixie Carter cared about Dixie Carter.
Yeah, she was a sociopath. You know, I hate to quote, I can't remember his name now. Oh, who was the lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins? What's his name? I forgot his name now. He originally wanted Impact Wrestling.
Oh, you mean Toby Keith?
No.
No, but that's not. He originally wanted Impact Wrestling. Oh, you mean Billy Corgan?
Billy Corgan, that's it.
He always NWA now. Yeah.
A lot of things he said about Dixie Carter have come true. You know, that she was a sociopath and she was about herself. You know, we've seen how different the product is now and how it cares for the fans. When, like I said, when Dixie runs it, it was more about her than the actual wrestling.
Yeah, she just wanted to show that she was in charge and she wanted to do what she wanted to do, and it didn't work that way. She was really bad with finances and really just running a wrestling company. She thought because, you know, her family was a business family that she can run this business the same as any. But a wrestling company is definitely an intricate and a unique type of business. You can't run it like you would do any other business because it is so different in many aspects.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, it's for me, I've watched Raw and SmackDown. I've done my reviews on them, and I've got to say, sorry, WWE fans, but to me, Impact Wrestling was the best show this week, hands down.
I must admit, I watched NXT take over Chicago last night. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty big. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. I think the match of the night was Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate for the UK Championship.
Oh yeah.
That match was stellar. That match kicked ass.
I will say, for me, the top two are Impact number one, then NXT.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you on that. Impact Wrestling right now is giving the best product. On TV product to me. Then definitely have to go with NXT. SmackDown is. I got to give it to them. WWE's been getting a little better. They're not on Impact, with the TV product. There's still some shaky things, but it's getting a little better. And I like that because I want wrestling as a whole to get better. You know, and I think a lot of that is having to do with Impact Wrestling because WWE wouldn't be doing a lot of the things that they're doing now if it went for Impact Wrestling. A lot of stuff they're doing is being influenced because of the things that Jeff Jarrett and Anthony have been doing. When they felt like then TNA was going out of business, they didn't really have to do too much to combat it. You can throw anything at it. But now that they see that it's a different story, things are changing, that people are willing to go to Impact Wrestling to make a name for themselves and a name for Impact Wrestling. Especially you got someone like Alberto El Patron that has chosen to take the Impact flag and wave it everywhere he goes. You know what I mean? Same thing as Moose carrying that grand title everywhere he goes. There are wrestlers now that are willing to represent Impact and not just be over there to get a check like Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair, that didn't promote Impact Wrestling, that was all for themselves. But we got wrestlers and people that will do that are doing that. Dutch Mantel, Bruce Pritchard, everybody may not like them, but guess what? They're carrying that banner on their back, and they're saying, "Look, watch Impact Wrestling. This is what we got. This is what we got going on." And to have an atmosphere like that, and people in the locker room, and people in the higher ups and management like that, that is way better for your company. And that's what it's influenced Vince McMahon to do shit like have a UK title, UK tournament, because Impact Wrestling is bigger in the UK than he is. That's why he's trying to go over there to India, have his India tour, have Jinder Mahal possibly win the WWE title, because he knows that Impact has a strong hold in India. We're not stupid. In the women's tournament, they see that Impact Wrestling is hiring all these women now for the Knockouts division, and now you want to hold a women's tournament so you can possibly try to take all the women away and sign them up just so Impact Wrestling can't sign them. I mean, what do we look like? We're not foolish. We're not stupid by far. You know what I mean? And then with all these relationships, that's talent that WWE cannot touch because they're working relationships with Impact. So you cannot fuck with them. Excuse me. Cannot touch them. So they're influenced to try to do things to one-up Impact. But guess what? All it does is make wrestling better as a whole.
Totally agree. I can't think else what to say.
Sometimes there's nothing left to say, man. When you got yourself a good one, you just got to leave it at that, man. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. But it's like I say, and you'll probably agree with this as well. Slamdown and Impact Fan Nation, it is by the fans, for the fans.
By the fans, for the fans, because everything we got, man, it's not just pundits and things like that. And then I like about our fans across the board,